How many different events happen in an ordinary person's life? How many of them are just passing by? And how many leave vivid traces, changing life completely? No one knew the answers to these questions until something happened in one small American town that shook its residents to the core. The town was called Lakeview, and it was a typical representation of American province. Cozy houses, picturesque lakes, and friendly neighbors. But when the past night turned into a nightmare, which intertwined with the daily life of its inhabitants, it happened in the summer of 1983. It all started when little Tommy Smith, a 6-year-old boy with curly hair and a perpetually smiling face, disappeared without a trace from his home. At first, his parents thought he had just gone into the woods to play as he had done before. But when Tommy did not return by evening, panic set in. The whole Lakeview was shaken by this news. The police launched a massive search, scouring every corner of the town and its surroundings. But as time passed, hope of finding Tommy alive and unharmed dwindled. It turned into weeks into months. But Tommy never returned. His parents were in despair, and the entire town was gripped by alarm and fear. No one knew what had happened to this little boy and what mystery lay behind his disappearance. However, Tommy Smith's story turned out to be just the beginning of a chain of mysterious disappearances that baffled Lakeview. Several weeks after Tommy, 2 more children disappeared, Emily Ryan and Johnny Clark. Their disappearance only intensified the panic in the town and fueled rumors of a curse hanging over Lakeview. But events took an even more sinister turn when several adult residents began to disappear. At first, these were isolated cases, but then the disappearances began to occur more and more frequently, as if the town were engulfed in dark shadows. Leaving among the missing were local mechanic Jimmy Parker, young teacher Lauren Carter, and even the sheriff of the town, Michael Johnson. Lakeview found itself in the grip of an invisible enemy, depriving its inhabitants of their families and friends, leaving no evidence behind. Soon, journalists and television cameras flocked to the town, endowing Lakeview with supernatural fame. But even the media buzz could not drown out the dark shadows looming over the town, and each day it plunged deeper into chaos and despair. At the darkest hour, the invasion of those who sought the truth occurred. A group of local residents, led by former military man Michael Wayne, decided to conduct their own investigation, unwilling to wait any longer for help from outside. Their research led them to an ancient cabin, abandoned deep in the woods, where they discovered ancient runes and symbols indicating an ancient cult that once thrived in this area. They realized that the answer to the mystery of Lakeview's disappearances lay in its distant past. But just as they were on the verge of solving the mystery, a new tragedy unexpectedly struck. One of the group members, Allison Morgan, disappeared without a trace during their investigations. They found only her flashlight left on the ground and strange tracks leading deeper into the forest. Deciding that they had nothing more to lose, the group followed Allison's tracks, which led them to an abandoned mine, closed many years ago. They penetrated inside, full of determination to find Allison and unravel the mystery that had engulfed their town. But when they reached the depths of the mine, they discovered a terrible truth that erased all their hopes. In the depths of the abandoned mine lurked an ancient evil entity that devoured the lives of Lakeview's missing residents, leaving only empty shells of their bodies behind. Michael Wayne and his group tried to resist, but they were powerless against the might of the dark forces awakened by ancient rituals and blood sacrifices. They realized that they had become part of something much more terrifying and powerful than they could have imagined. The last survivor was Michael Wayne. He managed to escape from the mine, battered and devastated, and to bring the truth about what was happening in Lakeview to the world. But it was already too late. The town was engulfed in darkness, and its inhabitants were lost forever. The mystery of Lakeview became a warning to all who thought that evil could simply be forgotten. It reminded that deep within every human heart lies a dark essence, ready to awaken at the first opportunity and devour everything that becomes its victim.